Hey everybody, happy Saturday. Well, your friendly, well, normally friendly old guy is present and accounted for. Tonight we are having butter chicken, kind of my take on it, plus or minus a couple little things. So, but I've never had butter chicken, by the way. Naan bread, garlic naan bread won the side dish vote, and the Kentucky butter cake
Yep.
won the dessert. So, looking forward to that, and of course, I had to make the cake earlier today. You know, it's just one of those things that not going to be ready unless it cools for a while. So, but I do have what went into the cake. If anybody wants to know it, you know, that's something I think I asked last week. Is if folks want me to start reading exactly what I'm putting in on these dishes. Otherwise, I won't bother. But yeah, I need to know.
Yep, they did say yes last week, and they said maybe in
Okay.
the description,
Okay.
maybe.
So, all right, well, good. All right, so it is Eli in the room, yeah. So
Yeah, Stoner Kitchen.
Stoner Kitchen, yeah. Okay.
Ronald,
Ronald, happy Saturday.
FS Dog Dad.
FS Dog Dad. Welcome, welcome. We are having butter chicken, and I don't think I'm going to mess around too much. I've got to make the naan, and I got to let the chicken marinate for just a little while at least. So let me come down here.
So Eli said OG o'clock, and Ronald said happy Saturday, and FS Dog Dad said OG time.
OG time. That's right.
And Stoner Kitchen said, man, it's perfect for the butter chicken.
Yeah, I think so. All right, so I got just some Purdue Farms chicken thighs here. Oh, I see, what am I doing that for? I want those on there.
FS Dog Dad says, the beard is looking majestic, OG.
Well, thank you. Thank you if you're watching on a TV. Yeah, and it's, you know, I'll tell you, it's getting about the time of year when I start thinking about pulling out the weed whacker and mowing it all down. But, yeah, for now, it'll stay, I guess. All right, so I am going to, for the chicken marinade, I'm going to put in about 3 teaspoons of garlic, a teaspoon of ginger, 1/4 teaspoon each of the following: turmeric, cumin, chili powder, and salt. So I'm going to use that for marinade along with, what did I say here? Didn't get written down. That's okay. I remember it was like 3 tablespoons of sour cream. I didn't pick up the yogurt just because you can't buy a little container of plain yogurt. They're all flavored, and I wasn't going to buy a big tub just to do this. But actually, sour cream makes a pretty good substitute from what I've read. So this is not one I've had before. Let's get this in here. 1, 2. Here's about 3.
So Eli says, I finally have a new phone stand, and some storage, so I will be cranking out some videos and a whole lot of shorts.
Yay! Awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing them, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, let me drain this off a little bit. I'm going to say hi to my brother and Shar. I hope the two of you are doing well. They're on vacation, so I don't know if they're watching, if they were able to, but nonetheless, hello. And all right, so let's get on with this here. I forgot to pick up fresh ginger, so I'm going to use powdered. That's what I got. So totally forgot to pick up the ginger root. Oh, I'm glad I noticed that. I almost put a bunch of black pepper in there.
Uh-oh.
I want black pepper, but that's not what I'm shooting for right now. All right, let's actually put in the ginger, Tom. And not quite a full teaspoon. What else do we got here? Turmeric. Just a little quarters on these. Quarter. Quarter here, quarter there. Let's do a quarter of the turmeric.
Is that turmeric? Or is that right in
It is. It says so right there.
Yeah, I was looking at the wrong can. I was looking at the can.
Alright, so we're going to go 1/4 teaspoon of the turmeric. And I tried to adjust this recipe down from one that was meant to have like 4 to 6 pounds of chicken. So I tried to break it down from that, but some of it didn't translate too well. All right, let me see here. Turmeric, chili powder, wherever it is, right there.
Eli says, I'm making some halved jalapenos stuffed with cream cheese and Monterey Jack and some barbecue rub on the fire as we speak.
That sounds good. Sounds really good. All right, there's the chili powder, and now just a little bit of salt. Same amount here. All right. Yeah, give it a start marinating them. Ew. I want to make sure I get the spices mixed around real well so I don't have a big glob of turmeric or something sitting on one spot. That looks pretty good. Can you see that?
Yep.
Alright. So, let that sit. Quick wash on the hands here. Being how that was raw chicken and everything.
Yep.
Alright. You know, I did want to add a little bit of lemon juice, so I'm going to get my hand dirty again. That's what I get for kind of jumping the gun, I guess.
There you go.
Want about a tablespoon, maybe a little more. Yeah, some good old fresh lemon juice. Okay. I think that'll suffice. Isn't that a cool word, suffice? Not in front of my wife, you're not.
Eli wants to know how Chumley's leg is doing.
This leg's doing okay. He slowly kind of getting better. We drove down to the vet day before yesterday, to pick up some medicine. He's developed himself a nice little ear infection, so
yeah. His leg does okay for a little bit, and then he'll sleep on it or something, and he'll get up limping again, and it's kind of back and forth.
All right, let's get started on the name right away. Spoons. So this one's pretty simple. Teaspoon of yeast. I'm going to use a tablespoon, half of a tablespoon roughly, of this honey, if I can get the lid off of it. Let's see here. Yeah, that's about a half a tablespoon, more or less. Probably a little more than less. That's okay. It'll just make that naan extra tasty. All right. That's good local honey.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I'm gonna put in hot water. Let me get this thing going here. Think about what I'm doing for half a second. Okay.
Let's move this along.
3/4 cup of some water. 1/4 cup of the sour cream. 4 tablespoons for everyone. All right. Okay. A little bit of oil. I'm going to use just a little dab of butter. 1/4 teaspoon salt. Right there. Okay. Now just a couple cups of flour. Simple enough, all purpose. All right. So, how's everybody been? Everybody had a good week? It wasn't too bad here. Had a couple of warmer days. Snowed again.
Yeah.
Had a pretty good snowstorm, as a matter of fact. It's starting to melt. All right. Let's get this. Okay. Since I've got this going, I'm going to get a couple things out of my way. All right. So I'm going to get everything, the spices ready that's going to go into the pan with the chicken. And for that part, couple tablespoons of butter, which is right there. What's going to equate to about a small onion, 3 teaspoons of garlic, 2 teaspoons of ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of coriander, some crushed tomato, half a teaspoon of chili powder, and a half a teaspoon of salt. So if you didn't catch that all, that's okay. Just go back to the replay. If you want to do what I'm doing, don't do what I do. I'm the one taking all the risk here. Alright, so let me get this onion cut up first. I think I'll do that in a minute. Let's get the spices together. Starting with the ginger. couple teaspoons. Come on now. Ginger. Quarter teaspoon of the cumin. Wherever that is. Found the cumin. Right in front of me.
You know, I asked how to let it.
Cold. Yeah. It wasn't super cold today, but cold enough. Half a teaspoon of coriander. It's in what? Maybe the mid-30s today? It's around there. And you? How about you? What's there? About 99? Cool down? Alright. Half a teaspoon of coriander. Half a teaspoon of the chili powder. Yep. Come on now. Don't you hate when the bags fold over on you the wrong way? Alright. Actually need to get myself some containers for these spices I buy down at the local health food store. I'm also going to add about a quarter teaspoon of paprika. Same.
Like, I said mid-30s would shut down the city.
Probably. Alright, and an equal amount of cayenne, just so we have a little to it. Figured since this is a curry. Come on. You won't come out! I can't get it to come out. Would you go grab the tweezers, please? It's, in case you're wondering, which I'm sure you probably are, it's saffron. Yeah, but the saffron is in this little pouch inside the jar there, and it won't come out. Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much.
That'll get it. Need to add a little bit of flour to my naan, but I'm got my hands full of this right now.
Eli says, I think the time surfer got stuck in a wormhole.
Well, he messaged a little bit ago. Said he was going to be late. So.
Joshua's here.
Joshua, happy Saturday. All right, so I want to add just a little bit. Come on. See if I can get any on here. A little bit of saffron in there. Okay. Where are we at here? And a little salt. I'm going to put some pepper in too. Salt. A little bit of black pepper. Nick. Teaspoon. Okay, you don't think I got it. I mean a half a teaspoon here. Let's see how close that is. Huh? What's that look like? Okay. Which one does that go on? Over here. All right. Get some caps back on these bottles. Correct cap on the correct bottle. Okay. Good to go on that. Let's give that a little swirling around. Let's dice up a little bit of onion, and we're going to get this. I got a little bit of oil. Down here gonna get hot, and I'm gonna sear off that chicken right after I get done doing this here onion. That is the approximate equivalent to a small onion. Just, you know. That works for me. That's fine. You come up to temp. That'll give me a chance to get my garlic ready. Throw a little salt and pepper on there. Yep. Never had this before, so it should be interesting. I am missing the masala spice. But, you know, hey. I guess it is what it is. All right. Get this kind of smashed out. All right. This should be really good. It's already kind of getting fragrant in here, and I'm not meaning that in a rude way. Mr. Chumley has a habit of making our house rather fragrant.
Actually, they both do, but he does mostly.
True that. Okay, just gotta let those onions sweat out a little bit. And I gotta get a little more flour into that man. Gotta be able to pick it up. We'll see what that does. Hey, got to adjust and adapt. Or some such malarkey, I don't know. Let's get a little bit of salt. A little bit of black pepper wherever it is, right there. Good. It's going to be tasty. I can feel it already. Hey, buddy. What's wrong with you? Hope all is well at your end of the world. We're making butter chicken and some naan bread. Got the naan bread mixing over here. Let me see if that was enough flour yet. Ooh, not quite. Not quite. Add more flour to the naan. A little bit at a time, a couple tablespoons. Sweat it out very nicely. Garlic in now. We're going to give that just a second.
Nice, that's a nice cloudy day in the 60s. Hopefully we get some rain tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Well, if all says all is well, things we can eat better chicken.
That's what it's supposed to be. This was a dinner request from Eli. Yeah, I'm going to pull these out now for just a minute. Turn my heat down some. That's a good sound.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going to start cooking that chicken. That's nice. Alright. A tad bit of oil. Alright. Looking good so far. Let me check my bread. Oh, that's really nice. I like that. Just a little bit sticky. Nice and soft, like chewed bubble gum. Alright. Cover it over and we'll give it a little while.
Well, it says Lizzie loves Indian butter chicken and tikka masala. Tikka masala.
I'm not familiar. As a matter of fact, I've never had really any Indian food at all, ever. So I'm making it and experiencing both at the same time. It's been that way with several things like the birria tacos. I'd never had those before, or never made them before, but boy, they sure were good. And I've made them a couple of times since. So, hey, we'll see how much we like it. Some things we like, some things we really like, and there's only been, I think, one or two things that we didn't like.
Yeah.
So, hey, we're so far the batting average for folks giving us suggestions to have has been really good. Yeah, you guys are knocking it out of the park most of the time. All right, while we're doing this, I
Well,
can get.
Paul says I really like Aloo Gobi, G-O-D-I. It looks like. Yeah, it was behind the heart.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He goes, we love it. Indian food is my guess.
Yeah, I'll have to go to an Indian food place sometime. There is one in a town that's it's about an hour and 15-minute drive or so. We might check it out next time we head that way. I mean, I guess there's really no reason not to. Okay. How long do you think that's been? You think it's been 3 minutes since we've had that in there?
Maybe.
Probably close to it, huh?
Eli says the beauty of cooking is experimenting.
Very nice. I like the yellow color that turmeric gives. You want something yellow, put turmeric in it.
You know what I said?
One more time.
Eli says the beauty of cooking is experimenting.
Oh, absolutely. I've experimented on making stuff lots of times and thrown a lot of stuff away.
Yeah.
There's some things I might try again now that I've got a little more experience behind me that didn't work in the past that may work better now. I don't know. A good example of that, I think, would be the opposite of a chocolate stout cake. If you don't know what that is, it's a chocolate cake that's made with a lot of butter and Guinness beer, eggs and everything else.
Very good.
Oh, it's awesome. So I wanted to make its counterpart with white chocolate. And I forget what kind of beer I used. But it was horrible. Tried the vanilla.
vanilla in that blonde beer that I used. I don't remember if it was a porter or a lager or just what, but it didn't turn out good at all. It just tasted terrible.
Eli says you gotta de-yolk a few eggs if you want to make omelets.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I wasn't trying to make omelets, but I sure got one. Looking good. Alright. Let's set these aside here. Okay. Turn up the heat just a little bit. Toss these spices in. Just by themselves for a second. Then add these onions. All right. Tomatoes. Let's throw some tomatoes in there. Eli, have you had butter chicken? I absolutely have not. I've had other chicken butter things like honey barbecue, Korean honey butter chicken. All right, let's put the chicken back in there. Turn that down to way low. Okay, cover that up and let it do its thing for a little while. Get this can out of my way. All right. We got some butter. Come on. Do got some butter I'm going to add into the butter chicken. I was surprised. You know, they call it butter chicken. I was expecting, geez, put some butter in it. It calls for like a tablespoon. Really? Just to help with the herbs?
Eli said, yes, I love butter chicken and vindaloo. Vindaloo is not for the heat intolerant. Vindaloo. Vindaloo.
I have, yeah, my experience with Indian cuisine is absolute zero. I suppose I should do something to take care of that. All right. I'm going to add a little bit of water. Just because I don't want it to go dry and start burning stuff. Okay. That ought to do. I'll keep an eye on it. Boy, don't you... That's an expression, isn't it? I'll keep an eye on it. Take out your eye and put it on there. Be nice. Right? Hey, just, you're tired, your arms, they're tired. Just hang them up. Put them in the closet, hang it up. But you'd only be able, how would you hang up the other? Never mind.
Eli said it depends. Some recipes use little butter, some use a handful. LOL.
Yeah, I didn't see any recipes that used much of any butter, but that's okay. If you look at the original Bourbon Street chicken, there ain't no bourbon in it. The version I make definitely has bourbon in it. Oh, and speaking of having liquor, the Kentucky butter cake that I made, it has a sauce that you pour over the top if you're not familiar. And it's just a sauce made with melted sugar, butter, and vanilla. And I added about, I don't know, 3/4 of a shooter of some of that Kraken spiced rum. And boy, did it ever taste good.
Yeah.
So that's what that cake has been soaking in. And it should have soaked it all up, and it should be just a nice, beautiful, moist, yummy cake. The only question I have is it going to come out of the pan, or is it half of it going to stick? We're going to find out.
Toilet Bowl says Vindaloo is also good.
Yeah, well, I guess that's, you guys got one up on me because I absolutely have no idea about the Indian food at all. So,
Lisa's here. How you guys been?
hey, Lisa. Good evening. Happy Saturday. We're kind of getting things rolling here. We are just about done with a lot of the stuff. We're putting it together. Now, I know we just got a jar of garlic.
Maybe on the middle shelf to the
I
left
see
side.
it. Thank you.
Lisa's here. Did I say that? Yes.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Welcome, welcome. Wild man as well.
Yeah, she didn't say, but
Well, I'm just
guessing.
going to guess that he's probably there, but...
Eli says the bourbon is for the chef while making it. LOL.
Well, unfortunately, not for this show. Nope. Now, I will on occasion, drink stuff that's probably, I don't know, maybe wouldn't make sense. Well, if you drink that, why wouldn't you drink this kind of thing? But puckers, if you guys know what puckers are, just a flavored booze. I love the sour apple puckers. Yeah, I would get entirely too loaded if I had a bottle of puckers around just to drink. Although, no, I can't say that because I did have a bottle.
Yeah.
It sat around for a while, and my son finished it finally. But all right, that looks good. Not going off at all. So I'm going to set a timer. Come on, set a timer. 30 minutes. So
It smells good.
it does. And so this will be finished off with some heavy cream and probably a little bit more of the sour cream. And yeah, maybe a little squeeze of that tomato paste I got sitting over there, and of course the butter, which there isn't much of, at least in this recipe.
Eli says, I knew of a kitchen that called Jameson's back of the house Gatorade. LOL. And yes, Wild Man is there with Lisa.
That's funny. So, old guy's got an idea. And since y'all are sitting here, I'm going to run it up the flagpole and see if anybody wants to salute it. I really need to get another computer. This old Frankenstein is sometimes it's just a real pain in the butt to try and do anything on it. And I would really like to be able to upgrade. So I'm thinking about auctioning off a few old guy items that there's going to be only ever one of a kind. I've got a Cousin Cletus baseball cap. I've got an old guy baseball cap. I've got 2 old guy aprons. I've got an old guy jersey. And the old guy, whatever you call that little dude. So, and I'm thinking about having an auction and trying to raise a little bit of coinage to get a new computer, something that can actually handle what I need to be doing. So, so show of hands. Who thinks that would be a good idea, or maybe something that you would participate in? Hands up. Can't see. I guess you're going to have to say yay or nay. Oh, I need to get my water.
Before you started that, Eli says nothing wrong with a little extra butter.
No, there's nothing wrong with a little extra butter. I have to agree with that. Boy, I always got to make the last 2 bottles in the package so hard to get out.
Photos Against Anxiety is here. I'm listening. I participate.
Whoa. Photos Against Anxiety. Welcome, welcome. Tonight it is butter chicken. What is next week, Mrs. Old Guy? Oh, Chicago style pizza.
Yes.
Deep dish Chicago pizza. I think that was requested by Tim at the Crazy Food Crew. Is that right?
It was.
Oh, how about that?
But you know what? The week.
Oh, that's not next weekend.
No,
That's the weekend, the first weekend in February, which will be like the 5th, maybe? This little guy's checking.
3rd.
The 3rd. Okay, so Chicago style pizza on the 3rd of February. Deep dish. And I'm probably going to do like I did the last time. I'm going to make the mozzarella. I'm going to make the sauce. I'm going to make the crust. I'll make the sausage. And I think that's probably going to be plenty enough for me to accomplish. And just like the last time I did it, I'm going to absolutely destroy my kitchen.
Not a surprise.
No surprise at all. No, so we'll see. And I'm pretty sure I'd run over a little bit.
Okay, let me catch up here real quick. Stoner Kitchen, the Fluffy's Brick Studio is here. And he put a hand up.
Yeah, Fluffy's
Photos
Brick
Against
Studio.
Anxiety put a hand up. Stoner Kitchen put a hand up.
Okay. Well,
Greg's here.
Greg, man in the future. You knew you would be here.
I like your channel, Photos Against Anxiety. She said hello to Mrs. Old Guy.
Ah, awesome.
And Eli was asking about time server, though you got stuck in a wormhole.
Say that again.
Eli said that he was asking about
Stuck in a wormhole.
Yeah. Steve Russell just came in.
Steve Russell. Good evening. Hope you're doing good. We're getting this chicken dinner, butter chicken going here. I'm going to turn that up just a tad. I want to make sure it cooks through in the 30 minutes. So, what is going on? For some reason, it ran 1 second off of the clock and stopped. So, that's okay. I just subtracted 5 minutes and we'll go from there. Jeez. Oh, old guys ready for the springtime. I don't like the cold weather. I don't like slipping and sliding on ice.
No.
You know, like I'll still will. I don't care. I go out and I'll grill a steak. I don't care if it's 3 below. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it sure makes it a lot easier if I don't have to deal with the ice and the snow. Also, cold is bad enough, but you know,
And we go walk the dogs in 6 inches of snow. Or
6
whatever.
inches, yeah, 8 inches,
They get
yeah.
their walks.
Yep. Yeah, but we won't take them if it's really cold or if it's really windy.
Yep.
But other than that, or if Chumley maybe is having issue with his leg.
Photos Against Anxiety says too icy to go anywhere. What part of the country are you in? And she says, been home for a few days now.
Ah. Well, I hope this turns out all right.
Eli says, I envy your snow.
It's okay. I mean, the thing I just don't like about winter, I mean, it's just you can't go out and do nothing. It's too dang cold.
Yep. Craig says, the moo cows don't seem to mind the snow. They're cattle drives.
Yeah, the dogs, you know, they'll go out and they'll play in the snow for half an hour or so.
Oh, yeah.
They don't mind.
Polly will run through it as deep as
Yeah.
her belly.
Yep. Oh yeah, they just love the new snow. Just like kids, yeah.
Joshua asked how the weather was out here.
It's been warm the last few days. We did get a really nice snowstorm. 3 days ago?
Yep.
Something like that.
Got quite a bit of
3 or
snow.
4 days. Yeah, it snowed really hard all night and then all that day. And so you know we picked up another close to a foot.
Yep.
But sun comes out, warms up to just above freezing, and everything starts to melt. So much less than that on the ground now.
Yeah. The Photos Against Anxiety is in Washington State.
Oh, Washington State. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's west. Miss Tessmacher, actually, yeah, west that way, right? From us, yeah,
Yes.
east that way, north that way. No, that way, right? Again, I'm trying to get more arm participation when I'm talking. I think it just helps. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we get votes for arm participation? And and when I say arm participation, it doesn't mean just one. It could mean both at the same time. And is it critical? Does it mean anything to you? Does it help me any at all to have the arm participation?
Greg says it's a warm 30 Celsius, 86 Fahrenheit in Sydney today.
86. Yep. That's nice. Yeah. That's an early summer temperature here.
And right after he said that, Eli asked him how's the heat in the future times.
Yeah, future time. Yes.
Steve says got about 6 inches of snow here a few days ago.
Ah. Nice. It's not too bad. You know, half a foot.
Yeah.
There's some places that, you know, hey, they get an inch and a half on the ground and there's wrecks everywhere. And, you know, people just instantly forget how to drive. I'm surprised we haven't had wrecks out here. There's a coal mine
just up the road here. The miners really don't care about any particular speed limit coming
No.
through town here. And there's some pretty good little turns or bends in the road. I'm surprised that one of them hasn't lost control. Hit a house or gone off the edge or something. Hit a guardrail. But not yet. One of them smacked a bear
Yeah.
a couple summers ago, or during the fall. Out making a nuisance of itself. It got into our back patio and crushed in kind of the top of the neighbor's camper trailer when he was up on top of that. He got up there to get to my apple tree, even though it was only making little apples. They're not crab apples. It was just I think it might have been a Honeycrisp apple, or maybe a Jonathan that just, it's gone wild, so it only makes little apples.
Very big.
Yeah, it's not very
Climb
big. And he tried to climb it. Snap! Half the tree gone. Oh well. Not much you can do about it. That's the way it is when you live where we live. So, just we've seen, or I haven't, but Mrs. Old Guy's seen mountain lion not far from here.
Yeah.
All kinds of deer and elk and turkeys and all kinds of fun stuff. And for some reason, I think I've mentioned this before, but for some reason, doesn't matter the particular time of year, there's always a dead skunk somewhere between where we live and two towns down on the highway here. There's always a dead skunk. So, winter, there's going to be one. Springtime, there's going to be a big one or maybe a little one too. Yeah. Summertime, more skunk. Fall, more again. It just never stops. Not like every single day, but
A lot.
a lot.
Greg said, "Old Guy, and you guys think we have dangerous animals here? Jeez."
Yeah. Well, bears and lions aren't exactly anything to mess with, and neither are like stags of any sort, deer or elk. They get them horns. You'd be a hurting individual.
Greg says the only bears we have here are those damn drop bears. They are dangerous, I tell you.
No, but you got a lot of other things that'll kill you. So, in fact, I think Australia has a unique set of things that will kill you, if I remember correctly, but I couldn't go down the list of any of them. Yeah.
Eli said the big news here was that what looked like a black jaguar spotted here. Even game and fish was stumped.
Well, a black jaguar, huh?
What looked like one.
Yeah.
But they're not sure it was.
Interesting. That reminded me of a story Mrs. Old Guy found in the newspaper when we were living down in the Denver area. A couple of college students were coming down out of the mountains up by Lyons, Colorado, and they spotted it was like 2 a.m. or so, and they spotted a mountain lion that had been hit by a car, but it wasn't dead. So they picked it up and they put it in the back of their car, and they were driving it into Boulder to the intent was to bring it to an emergency animal hospital, and they got pulled over by a sheriff's department on the way. And they're college students, and so they had smoked themselves up a little bit of bud, and the car smelled like pot. And the cop
comes up and he, started to, investigating, and he's mentioned to them about the smell of marijuana coming from the car, and they said, well, it's not us, it's probably coming from the lion, and to which the deputy responded, and very, very appropriately, mountain lions don't smoke marijuana.
Yeah, that was funny.
Mountain lions don't smoke marijuana.
Jordan's here.
Jordan, hey buddy, happy Saturday. That chicken you showed me the other night, last night? I think so.
Stanley is here.
Stanley. Oh,
Jordan.
Oh, yeah, well, still, the picture that I saw last night was their dinner.
Ah, okay.
I bet it was tasty, because it sure looked good. I love teriyaki chicken is one of my favorite things, and if it's a homemade sauce,
Oh,
even
that did
more.
look good.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Lisa says we got coyotes here in Ohio.
Yep, got coyotes here.
Yep.
In fact, I think they have like a $50 bounty or something on them. They'll pay you $50 to bring one in. I guess they just consider them more of a nuisance than anything. But I haven't ever seen a coyote here. I think they kind of stay away from people. I
Yeah.
wouldn't imagine why.
We've only seen the mountain lion once.
Yep, only saw the lion once, and we've seen bear a few times.
Yep.
We're in town and down the road and up on the mountains, and spotted a moose.
Yep. That
Once.
was cool.
But get kind of rare, at least for us, to see a moose. So,
Eli says, I want to party with that mountain lion.
do you? You want to? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I bet he has some pretty good stuff. It'll mess you up.
Very good. Eli, LOL, catnip.
Catnip, yeah. Funny.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that when I seen that in the paper. I had to show you.
That was funny. Whoop. Let's not crash and burn. I'm going to take a look at my man here. Looks okay. A little bit soft. A little bit soft. So, not too long ago, I was watching these videos of folks using the Tandoor ovens. I thought, wow, that is really, really cool. How they, reach in there and they slap that bread against the side, and then, I've never see them drop one or whatever. And I just thought, wow, I'd like to have a small kind of version of one, maybe a vertical one or horizontal instead of vertical. But yeah, then realization kind of set in. How much am I going to use it? Is it really worth the time and the hassle to make one? I wrestled with that fact. All right, so let's make some naan here.
Steve says those ovens are cool. They are. They're really cool.
They are. I also like the process of how all these people make these different breads. Just cranking them out.
Yep.
It's really amazing to watch the teamwork on some of these bakeries. It's amazing.
Stanley's here.
Stanley!
He says dinner was awesome, Tom. Bread has always been my weakness in the kitchen.
Love bread. Yeah, learning how to make that tiger bread. Ooh, I was so glad I did that. Now when I want to make French dip, it's a go-to bread for me.
Yep. It's go-to bread for a lot of things.
It is, really. It's good bread. Made an excellent hamburger bun.
Yep.
Okay.
Greg says, old guy, a new project for spring, I reckon.
A new what?
Project for spring.
What's that? Oh, Tandoor? No.
Greg
I did think about it, but it wouldn't be worth the expense, and I don't really have the room for it, so. But it was a fun thought.
Eli says, I tried to make bread once, I almost choked on it. Must not have been very good, or it must have been pretty tough.
And what did you do? What did you do, Eli? Move this onion here. Don't want that much. Want some oil, but I don't want that much.
I love naan bread. Make it for, just like a pita sort of sandwich, but also use it for gyros and
Yep.
all kinds of fun stuff.
Stanley says, I'm going for the tiger bread this week. I'll let you guys know next week.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I love the tiger bread. I was real happy with how it turned out. It took me a couple of tries
Yep.
to get that top to crack right, but the bread itself was really good.
How hot are we here? Not yet.
Not yet. It's okay.
Greg said, told Eli for a second there, Eli, I thought that you said you smoked it. LOL.
Smoked what?
That bread.
Smoked the
I
naan?
think. And Eli says, I don't know what I did, but if you threw a loaf at someone, you could do some damage.
Yeah. Yeah, hard rolls. All right.
Practice makes perfect, Eli. Keep trying.
Not always. Looks like we're getting smoking hot here now. Let's get this first one in. Yum, yum, yum. Get these done, and I'll make a little bit of garlic butter to throw on them.
Well, come on.
Looked a lot hotter than that. Oh well. At least it's not a huge oh no. It's an oh well. There's been lots of oh wells in this world.
Now we're getting somewhere.
All right. A little more out of my way here.
Greg says, LOL, Tom. I left the voting for the sites this week. I saw what you did there.
What did I do there? Please tell me what feat I amazingly did, because I want to know. If I did something cool, please tell me what was it?
Scott's here.
Hey,
How
Scott.
are y'all? Hope you're all doing great.
Ouch. That hurt. Oh.
Careful.
Goodness gracious.
That wasn't very comfortable.
says, LOL, it was always going to be garlic naan.
It was always going to be garlic. Okay. I don't understand, but.
That's what you did. You put that in there on purpose, he said.
Oh, I see. Just so, because I knew it was going to get the vote? Is that what you mean?
Eli says, ouch, no.
That one looks good.
Yeah, well,
Lisa says, hey, what's the side dish tonight?
I'm cooking it.
Garlic naan.
Garlic naan bread.
And Kentucky butter cake is the dessert.
Indeed it is. Well, I've got it outside where it's been sitting all day.
Yep.
Nice and cool out there. And this time I know better than to grab the naan.
Scott says, I got a 2nd-degree burn grabbing a hot plate a few months ago, and that was no fun. What a whoop that toaster sucked to deal with.
You know, I remember when I was a kid, well, maybe 15 or so, I was at this swimming pool, indoor place that was owned by this country club. And they had issues, I guess, with one of the shower heads, so they took it off. If anybody's seen them, the plastic rain gutters that you can buy, just essentially a long plastic tube. And well, they had that attached up by the shower head, where the shower head should be, so it didn't just go everywhere. And this one guy that was there, he filled up that piece of plastic drain pipe with probably 5 gallons of just the hot water. And he was swinging it back and forth like, you know, and I knew he was going to do it. I told him, better not throw that on me. And I was walking out the shower and he threw it at me down from the back of my neck all down my back. Big old 2nd-degree burn. Just that quick.
So Greg says, old guy, LOL, the other selections were never going to get there. Tomato soup and cucumber salad from memory. He says, were the other selections, LOL.
Well, okay, I mean, I'll give you that, but sometimes there are some dishes that are really kind of hard to come up with 3 different sides. You know, I mean, I could have put rice on there, but you know, that's pretty common. So I just figured I would, you know, throw out stuff that I thought might be okay, but maybe not something that you would think of. So I'm sorry that I didn't live up to your side dish expectations this week. And I hope that this next week we'll do better because you don't get a vote. Next week I am cooking my birthday dinner. And I don't know if I'm going to say what it is or if I'm just going to keep it to myself. I'll have to think about it.
Eli says, grabbing a hot cast iron handle is never fun.
Nope.
He did that just the other day.
Yeah, I did.
Yep. Right out of the oven.
Greg says, the worst thing when you do your fingertips. Ouch.
That's exactly what it was, too.
Steve says, one time I accidentally grabbed a metal handled pot that was hot on the grill with roaring flames. I heard my skin sizzle like bacon.
Yeah, I think about the worst.
Kitchen burn that I've ever had was I made some. I'd been prepping to make green chili for this restaurant And I wanted to get some stuff done the day before, so I didn't have to do it all the next morning. And one of those things was dicing up the pork. So it was a big old 5 pound, at least 5 pounds worth of pork that I diced up. And next morning, went in to get it started, had a couple of cups of nice hot oil in the bottom of this stock pot. And when I put the pork in, it was nice, loose, individually cut little piece of pork. But of course, after it sits in the fridge and settles all night, it plops out in one big blob, which is exactly what it did. And it, yeah, it. I watched the skin off of 4 of my fingers just droop off and just hang there. It was terrible. My right hand was just about useless for about 6 weeks. That really sucked.
Yeah, no doubt. Stanley says, watching such an amazing, well-oiled machine just come through every time. True grit.
Okay, there's that. There's the Nan.
Greg says, old guy, haha, no, Tom, it's pure genius.
What now?
He said it was pure genius what you did with the sides.
Ah, yes, okay, thank you. That's a little more like it.
And Scott said, when I was a kid, I pushed an electric car cigarette lighter for a second. I was curious if it was hot, so I put my thumb right on it. I had all the rings on my thumb, being a stupid kid.
Yeah, well, I've done some pretty stupid things too when I was a youngin'. Brother Doug?
No?
No, no.
Hello?
All right.
Good, how are you, John? Hi there.
Supposed to have butter in there, so there's a couple of tablespoons of butter.
Doing a live stream right
All right, I'm gonna
now. You're real slow.
got some heavy cream.
Okay. Have a good night.
Oh! I don't want it on that. I don't want it on heat anymore. Let's get that cream put in.
Eli said one of the worst is a sugar burn. It's like napalm.
Oh yeah, it never quits. Yep, I've got a few of those from playing with hard candies like peanut brittle. Gets them on you. Oh, that's so fun. All right.
Scott says, holy heck, Tom, that sounds horrible. Glad it was only a few weeks. I would have thought months.
No, just a few weeks.
Greg
Put
says,
some
Lotto
tomato
with a
paste.
question mark.
Lotto? Don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. That looks awful good.
Scott says, speaking of doing stupid stuff as a kid, do you ever look back at life and wonder how you're alive sometimes?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There was been a couple of times where I'm really lucky to still be here. As a teenager, climbing rocks up near Boulder. I'm not going to go into a big, long description or anything, but I fell probably about 30 feet while climbing these rocks. And somebody that wasn't with us, they just happened to be up there climbing too, said that my head missed bashing up against a rock by like within an inch. And it really jacked up my leg. So, yeah, that was... My whole thigh was completely bruised.
Natalie's here.
Natalie!
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. You're just in time. We're about ready to serve up some. We're about ready to serve up some dinner here.
By the way, that was John on the phone, and he would like you to call him when you're done.
Okay.
Just so I don't forget to tell you.
Okay. Now I got to try to remember. Thanks. All right. Let me get a couple of bowls here. Some eating utensils for Mrs. Old Guy. I'll give you guys a good look. Oops, wait. I'm almost forgetting the garlic on the naan. It's not garlic naan if you don't make the garlic butter to put on it. And I didn't even use the garlic yet, but I put it away.
See how you are.
No. You see how I am. You can't pull that on me. All right, let's get some garlic in there. That ought to do. Boy,
Scott says, falling 30 feet is no joke. When I took a rock climbing class, my instructor told me not to be scared. Anything above 30 feet, you're going to die, so what's the extra 400?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'd rather not be falling from anywhere.
You have no doubt.
That one experience was plenty enough for me. I've had some other smaller falls, but that was the worst one. Alright, salt, pepper, the garlic, and a little bit of parsley, just in case you were wondering. Okay. Let me get you a little plate for your nan. It's nan your business. Throwing it around like it's nothing. Okay. There's the naan. Let me scoop up. Nope. There I am trying to confused over the utensil. Because that's easy for me. Alright, so there's the chicken. Let's get some of the sauce.
Greg said those naans look great, Tom.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Okay. Eli, there's the butter chicken.
Hold it down. There you go.
Does that look good? Can you see that?
Yep.
Does it look good?
It does.
And there's the garlic naan.
Yum.
Go.
Thank you. I don't know that I'll eat both of those.
You're gonna eat them. Don't make me tell you again.
Can I see a fork? To eat with?
What? Didn't I give you that already?
It's right there on the table.
Everything, just me, now.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, she says. I like the sound of that. You can keep that going.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Alright, let's get some of the sauce on here. Eli, does it look anything like the curry you get?
Scott says, I went skydiving once and fell 30 seconds and was terrified. I thought I was going to die. Only one 4-letter word was coming out of my mouth the whole time.
Yeah, I bet.
It looked like I had a seizure in my video. He goes, I was so scared.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I never have had, I mean, I have had thought about it, but then again, I never really had the overwhelming urge to jump out of a perfectly good airplane.
Natalie says, we got around 3 inches of snow Thursday night, and it's currently 0 degrees here in Illinois.
Woo, that's chilly.
And Greg says, butter chicken, my favorite.
Can I reach in there and grab myself a utensil? Okay. Just curious if it looks anything like the chicken you get.
He says it looks good. You like it?
All right. And I'll see if I like the sauce and if I think it needs any other seasoning. That's nice. Yeah, that's good.
This was good.
Nan's good. Could have used a little more garlic.
Stanley says they're having shrimp and grits for dinner tonight.
Nice. Nice. Shrimp and grits. Haven't had grits since I was in the military. That's been a while. All right, come on now. The naan is good. It definitely could have used more garlic.
Greg said, by the way, Tom, thanks for including the ingredients in your onion soup video this week.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm going to try and do that a little more often now when I make things. I think I'm going to try do a few more videos of things that I've never made but wanted to. Pretzels is a good example of that. A big, big pretzel. Never made pretzels, so maybe I'll get that done this week.
Scott told Greg, peer pressure got to me. Crazy thing is, my buddy who pressured me to go, he lied about his weight and his shoes almost didn't open.
Ooh,
Almost had to cut the main and go to the reserve.
that's not good.
And Scott said he doesn't scare easily, but he was terrified.
Yeah, no doubt.
No kidding.
In this town that we lived in before we moved up here, there was a local municipal airport that people had skydiving classes. And one guy fell to his death.
Yeah.
Chute didn't open until too late. I think the chute opened like less than 100 feet off the ground. And just, yep. He didn't make it. And that particular skydiving school was shut down for almost a year.
before they were able to reopen again after they went through all the FCC investigations and all that.
Eli says pretzel buns.
Pretzel buns? I mean, maybe sometime, but my goal now is to actually make a big soft pretzel. I love those things. And one evening in Germany, me and my friends had been walking around town all day. And we kept passing by these little booths that had the big pretzels. So finally we were hungry enough to stop and get one. Really good. Had some cheese sauce with it. And there was another place just right there for us to go in and have some beers. And they brought menus, and they had this cheese pie. Now, it wasn't like a cheesecake. It was like a pie. It was like definitely more of a pie that was layered with phyllo dough and different types of cheese. So the bottom, I'm just gonna mention cheese names as an example, but like mozzarella and some phyllo dough, then a layer of Fontana, then another layer and some feta cheese, and it was kind of like that, just these different layers of cheese in between the sheets of phyllo dough. It was really, really good. But I discovered that cheese pies and eating big, soft bread pretzels and drinking a bunch of beer wasn't the greatest idea. I didn't get sick or anything. It was like that bread just swelled like a sponge. Everybody else took a cab home, back up to the base. I decided that I'd better walk. It wasn't that far, a couple miles. This is really, really tasty.
It is really good. Stanley says pretzel love. And Scott says German bakeries are no joke. Some of their food is amazing.
The one thing I really missed about being in Germany was the food. So much better just on a daily thing than what we have on a norm. Fell in love with several of their dishes.
Grace says pretzel. I've only had small snack ones in the snack section.
Yep. But they do make, I don't know, maybe they're not something that's made there, but they're big, soft pretzels. They're about, not like that. I don't know if you can see that, but and they're quite thick, maybe the size of my thumb. Classic pretzel shape. Cooked just like a pretzel, only after they're done, instead of being dry all the way through, the inside is nice and soft and very bread-like. So I gotta try it. And I might make some little ones out of some of the batch if there's some left, but yeah.
So Scott said, did you ever drink Das Boot? That's a glass boot.
A
that holds
boot,
6
yeah.
beers.
I have. And I'll never forget the very first time I drank out of a glass boot. For those of you that do not know or have never drinking out of a glass boot, there is something that you really should not do right after you start. Right when you start. Who can tell me what that is? I guess I'll tell you what that is. When you're drinking and it's a full boot of beer, you want to make sure that the toe of the boot is facing down. Otherwise, all the weight of the beer, if you have it the other way, is just going to... And if you can't drink it fast, it's going all over you.
Eli says he has one of those boots.
Mm-hmm.
They're fun for a party. And Greg says, "Oh, you guys mean Stein glasses?"
Yeah, a boot, a glass boot for beer.
He's talking about Steins.
Steins? Well, yeah. I used to have a whole bunch of Steins,
Yep.
but over the years they've gotten lost and broken.
Scott said he bought a boot after seeing Beer Fest, the movie. I had friends' times all written down with their signatures. It was a great time.
Nice. One year at Oktoberfest, me and some of my buddies, they're at the local town having fun. Gigantic beer tents, as big as a huge 2-story building. Big, huge tents. Beer tents. And so we'd go from one to the other and had different foods and they had carnivals and games. Really good celebration, really fun. And as we were walking from one area to the next, this colonel that happened to recognize us, and we recognized him, he was there with his family, his wife, and he had a little girl, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years old. And he had won a stuffed animal for her. He said, "Can you guys help me with this stuffed animal that I just won for my daughter?" And we're like, "Sure." We're kind of laughing about it to ourselves because we're thinking, how big can it be? It was huge. He won a great big gigantic stuffed elephant, and the thing was probably 7 feet tall, 8 feet long, 10 feet long. Great big thing. We had to tie it to the top of his car. A few weeks later, on base, they had this roller rink, and we went up to do a little skating, and there was that elephant hanging from the ceiling. And when we saw that colonel the next time, he said that it was so big he couldn't get it in his house. He couldn't get it in the door. So the only place he could get into is someplace that had the double doors like the roller rink. So he just had him hang it up, and that was a gift to the roller rink, I guess.
Drake says, "We get Oktoberfest here, and they used to sell Stein glasses for every beer you bought.
Mm-hmm.
Not red cups everywhere, but bulky, heavy Stein glasses littered all over the place."
Mm-hmm. Yep. In Germany, you would buy the first beer would cost you twice as much as a regular one, as the regular price, but you're paying for the Stein. Every time you go get another beer, let's give them the Stein and start over. But there was a time that I drank 15 liters. That's a little over 3 gallons, I think. Had the mugs all stacked up, kind of like a pyramid. Boy, was I drunk.
Eli said Beer Fest is a classic. And Stanley says pierogies, Polish or German, but I love them.
Me too. I have to make beef ones or meat ones because Mrs. Old Guy can't have the potato. But potato pierogies. They're almost worth committing a crime for. Okay. I've enjoyed this too much.
Greg says in Australia they don't use a glass shoe. We call it a shoey, where you take off your own shoe and fill it with beer and skull.
Yuck. That's disgusting. I would never do that. Nope. Not even if somebody wanted to, well, I guess if somebody wanted to pay me, it would have to be a pretty substantial payment. I might try it. All right.
Natalie says, my great-grandmother was the first American German. She always made great food.
Oh, yeah, I bet. I love German food.
That elephant reminds me of when my roommate called me from work and said, I'm swinging by and need some help. He pulls up in his ambulance with a football beanie bag chair in the back of his rig.
It didn't pop out the first time. We'll try it again.
That scared me when you did that. Uh-oh.
Well, let's see if I can coax it out a little bit. Don't tell me I use both. We'll see if I can loosen it up a little bit. I was kind of afraid of that. Just because of the nature of the sauce that you pour onto the top. I just need to loosen it here. I think it'll come out. Let's see. Come on. It's coming out. Just it's not going to do it in one piece, I don't think. I know what I need to do. Run this in some hot water. Hope not in the cake itself, but bottom of the pan. Let's see if I can get it to melt some of the sauce. It's probably what's sticking it. So I'll put some water in the sink. We'll see what happens.
Hopefully it'll come out.
Hopefully. Alright. I'll give that just a minute. Boy, that was just enough water. Much more and it probably would have been too much. Give it just a couple minutes. Just enough to help melt that butter a little bit. I keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I don't want it to drop out with half the cake still stuck in the bottom. Although I've had it happen. Bundt pans and me have had our go-around over the years, that's for sure.
Scott says, random, Tom, but do you remember the first time Chum and Polly saw snow? Teddy got to play in it for the first time and was in heaven. He insisted on sleeping outside in the snow for the last 4 days.
Well, they're equipped for that. That's what they're bred for, to be in the cold.
Polly
Yes,
and Chumley had a fun time the
Oh
first
yeah, they
time.
had a great time the first time. Yep, they were just just a few months old.
Yeah,
Polly
like
was
10
like
weeks
maybe 3 months old, and Chumley was 5,
Yep.
somewhere around there. So yeah, they definitely had fun. Chased each other, played in the snow, and they still do.
Yep.
So they absolutely do. Let me get this man squished and put in the fridge. All right.
What's the matter, Polly? Are you mad because I didn't share dinner?
Oh, I think we're good now. I really do. Let me see one of you. I'll get it. I think it'll just plop out now, so I'm going to get a cake plan, a cake plate. Ooh. Careful.
I'm out with the camera.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to be careful with everything here.
Okay.
Be breaking stuff. Oh, is that going to fit? Just barely. Yes, there we
Greg
go.
says, wow, that's awesome. And he says that he has some pictures of him completely covered in snow.
Yep. They like it. Hey,
Ooh, yay.
what do you know? There's the Kentucky cake. Kentucky butter, no. Yeah, Kentucky butter cake.
Yep.
Right? I guess it was bound to go with the butter chicken.
Yep.
Suppose you guys want a closer look, huh? Suppose.
Down. Okay. Looks good.
It's about a 500-pound cake here. Okay, that was a bit of an exaggeration, but it is heavy. All right.
Greg says, woo, and Steve says it looks dense.
It is a dense cake. After you pour the sauce on it, it soaks in.
Yep. Scott says, looks great. Have you ever tried to show food and it slipped off the plate?
Oh yeah. Not on the live stream, but on some of the videos I've done.
Thank you.
Of course, you wouldn't see that because they got edited out. Oh, I already showed you. Let's see. Can you see that? No.
You could kind of see it.
The density,
Yep.
the sauce. Okay. Like I said, the sauce has had vanilla, butter, sugar, and some rum.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's really good. Delish. Mm-hmm. Wow. The addition of that rum in with the cake and all, it just gives it a slight hint. You can just barely taste it. It's really good. Mm. I'm glad I put it in.
Yeah, that's really good.
So-
One of the neighbors will be getting some cake.
Yeah, they will. So next weekend, be old guy's birthday dinner. Haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do yet.
I may keep it a secret till then. I may post it. And I might put up something for a vote, maybe. I might do that. Yeah, maybe I'll give guys a kind of a say-so on what I have with my dinner. So, this cake, I don't know who suggested this. Do you remember who suggested this?
Nobody. Me.
Nope.
I showed.
Oh,
showed
you nobody. Okay. It was just a cake that Mrs. Old Guy saw. I'm glad she did. This is really, really good. It reminds me of a pound cake,
Yeah.
pound cake.
Greg says it looks scrumptious.
It is really
Woo,
good.
party.
Huh?
He goes, woo, party. And Eli says, I have a feeling OG's birthday dinner will include meat.
You know, Eli, I think you and I are kind of like on the same sort of psychic level here.
Steve says, would you consider buffalo chicken dip as a side dish option to vote on?
Buffalo chicken dip? Probably not. And the only I'm not opposed to having it. It's just,
Did we have it once?
I think we have. But the point is that making things like a dip, it's hard to make just enough for a couple of people. And a lot of times, some of the stuff, well, not a lot of times, but sometimes, some of the things that we've made just, they don't get ate. And I hate having to toss out food. So that probably won't be an option. But just because of the nature of it. Now, like the jalapeno poppers, I made a bunch of them.
Yep.
Because I could freeze them. Maybe I'll eat a couple of those on my birthday.
Greg says, I know what it won't include, and that's a dirty old big oyster.
Yeah, well, it's not going to include an oyster, and it's not going to include any miso.
Scott says, wait, Mrs. Old Guy is allowed to make recommendations? That's not against the rules.
Yes, it is.
Steve said fair about that dip.
Awesome. Yes.
Scott says, I hate wasting food.
Yeah, I do too. And like I said, unfortunately, sometimes I've made way too much, way more than Mrs. Old Guy and I could eat. And I've even tried, I give my neighbor some other people some. It's still too much. But I've learned over the last half a year, 8 months, to finally start cutting back on the amount of what I make. Like a few months ago, I would have probably cooked half a dozen pieces of chicken in there and made a whole bunch of sauce.
Eli wants to know, will oysters pate?
Will oysters pate? Oh! Well, let me put it to you this way. If they do, I'm not trying it. That 1,000 sub oyster fiasco. When it was sitting there, all the time leading up to that 1,000th sub, I thought, First of all, I thought it was going to take forever for me to get 1,000 subs. That actually happened fairly quick. And then
Greg says, hey Eli, Tom never tried that oyster, will it brulee?
Oh no, see, I'm not doing that either. That was, it wasn't the grossest thing I've ever had. The grossest thing I ever had was my 2020 burrito. And if you haven't seen it, just go to my homepage there and search
Good girl.
2020 burrito or Iffy Food parody. I did a parody of Val.
Speak.
So, and he with Matt over at Reckless Eating had seen something for a 2020 burger, and I think it was from Burger King or something, but it was somewhere from overseas, and it had all kinds of really disgusting stuff, a burnt hamburger bun and Jello with raisins and just all kinds of really odd stuff. So that's where I got the idea to do the burrito. Well, I've had the idea to do the burrito for a very long time. It just gave me an excuse to do it. And if you haven't seen it, check it out.
Lisa says, have a coming up happy birthday, Tom, from the Crazy Crew.
Well, thank you very much. I will. My birthday isn't actually until the 31st, but next Saturday would be a good time to celebrate it. So
Scott says, can you cream brulee oysters?
I'm put oysters in a creme brulee. Oh, somewhere right now, a French chef is crying because you said that.
Eli says, how can one forget the chocolate syrup Vinnies?
Oh, yes.
Viennas.
Yes, the chocolate syrup and Vienna sausages. That was also not a very good one. And neither was the Beanie Weenie challenge that I did, where it was 6 flavors of Weiler drink and a can of Beanie Weenies. Chug 2 cups of each flavor and eat a can of Beanie Weenies. That was not a pleasant experience.
Greg said, Scott, you made it creme brulee, took it to the next level.
I'm not sure that that's what I would say. I don't know if that takes it to the next level. Well, maybe the next level down. Actually, probably 2 or 3 levels down. Yep, you're going to bring it neck to the next level, heading the other way. I don't even know if there'd be a... That's like making an anchovy souffle. But how's that? That's what you can mark it down for my 5,000th sub. I will make and eat an anchovy souffle. So, and those of you that really know me, and there's not probably many that are watching that really know me, but fish and especially anchovies are like one of my. I wouldn't have even messed with anchovies in my entire career if it wasn't for the fact that I had to make Caesar salad. Other than that, I would never, ever. No. Me and anchovies will never get along, and for me, that was probably going to be 3 times worse than that stinking oyster, and I had to buy a big one too. Oh, I never see that big one there.
So Eli wants to know, will there be another Iffy Food episode?
It's possible.
That was fun making that, actually. That was
I had a lot of fun.
dyeing his hair and stuff, but that was fun.
Dye my hair, going to the park, and filming me and little Sal. Instead of little Val, it was little Sal.
At a park full of people.
Yes. It was, no, it was, I didn't call him little Sal, because he calls him little Val. I think I was calling Tiny Val. That's what he calls him, Tiny Val, right?
Yeah, and you were a little Sal.
Yeah, Little Sal.
I think.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, you really should watch it. I poke fun pretty good, I think, at Val. And it's kind of funny. I wanted to dye my hair gray because it wasn't as gray as Val's. And first I had to bleach it. It turned me into a redhead for a little while. It should have stayed that way because it actually looked kind of cool.
Yeah, that
Kind
was
of a strawberry
blonde or something.
Strawberry blonde.
Guru of baseball cards is here.
Hey, Guru of Mr. Baseball Cards. No, thank you. I appreciate you coming in. I was just talking about, what was I talking about?
Iffy Foods.
I was talking about a parody I did of another channel, Trippy Food, and the guy, his name is Val, really nice guy. Val and I work together on the George and Pudgy show, my radio show, so Val's a super guy, and I figured he was a good one to do a parody of, and I think it worked. I think it went well, and I would do it again. Absolutely, yeah, it was fun. If I thought of something that I could think would be entertaining enough, but
Scott says, so we're going to let Val know about your 5K sub goal.
that's fine. Let him know. He wanted, had to try my 1,000th sub, and for those of you that did not know or don't know, what I did for a live stream for my 1,000th sub. And a quick disclaimer, I absolutely hate raw oysters. Ooh. And so what I did was a raw oyster with Vienna sausages covered with Hershey's chocolate, or just chocolate syrup, and blue cheese dressing. And it was awful. And I gave it the old try, right? I took one bite, couldn't get it down, I barfed. And Mrs. Old Guy said I should try another bite. And then reluctantly I agreed and took another bite. And I managed to swallow that one. But yeah, it just, immediately discharged. And apparently now I've talked myself into making a anchovy souffle. That's not going to be good. And so Val actually had to try the same thing I did. He likes oysters, so his thing was the chocolate syrup, that he didn't care for, but it wasn't. Val's got a lot more adventurous of a palate than I do. Mine's kind of limited. There's only some things that I'll try that I like. And Val's a lot more adventurous. He'll eat things that, I would never even consider as food, let alone eat it. So I don't think there's anything that I could make that would be bad enough for him to say, no, I don't think I'm going to try that. All the different collaborations I've done with Val.
Yeah.
The tuna banana salad. Oh boy, was that bad. And the tuna meatball sub from Subway, that was not good. There's been a bunch of them that were just terrible. The peppermint hot dog pie. Yep. Peppermint pickle hot dog pie. That wasn't good. Plus the ones I do to myself. Like the mayonnaise Oreo. Or the Twinkie filled with baked beans.
Steve says, I appreciate you come on Saturdays. It makes his week.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You guys...
seconds that.
You guys make my week. And that's... that's definitely spoke from here.
Greg third it.
There's nothing nothing more than I would rather do than do this on Saturday nights. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I look forward to it. This is like the highlight of my week. I enjoy the planning and really look forward to the things that we've never tried before.
Yeah.
It's always an experience. 99.9% of them have been amazing, and I give that credit to you guys because I would have never even thought to make a lot of this
Yep.
stuff. So, kudos to you guys, and thank you for coming and hanging out with me on a Saturday night. There's probably other things that you could do, or Sunday morning if you're in the future. But we're right at that 7 o'clock mark, and I managed to get dinner done and dessert ate for once.
Yep.
So wow, that's kind of a surprise.
Got a little bit to catch up on here. Eli says anchovy souffle with lima bean and hominy succotash.
How about if I go with a lima bean and what?
Hominy succotash.
How about if I go with a hominy and lima bean puree to kind of drizzle over the top? What do you think of that? Because I'm not going to want to take another bite of anything once I get that first one down. So, we can go with the hominy lima bean puree to put over the top of the sardine, or not sardine, but anchovy souffle. And what do you think, Eli? What's going to be nastier? A savory souffle with like some cheese, or should I make it a dessert souffle where it's got some sugar? I'm thinking probably dessert souffle would be just about the nastiest way you could make a anchovy souffle. Sugar and vanilla. Maybe go ahead and use heavy cream.
Scott says he don't mind anchovies on pizza, and he
Oh,
says Greg.
no.
And then he tells Greg, too bad he goes,
No.
it sucks that you live on the other side of the world, man. You'd be fun to hang out with.
You would. I agree with that. Sorry. I think fish on pizza should be really against the law. If they catch you with anchovies or sardines, any kind of fish on your pizza, you're going to jail, bud. And as your punishment, that's all you get fed. That's all you get fed. It's just like this nasty ass anchovies and some crackers.
Scott says, ooh, before we end, I'm having taco salad tonight.
Oh, yum. Yeah, and I guess I did forget to ask folk.
And Greg says savory and then brulee it. Lisa's leaving.
Lisa, have a good week. Y'all have a great week. I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate everyone.
Did we need to draw?
No,
No, we don't. Okay.
I appreciate everybody coming in. We'll see you next Saturday night when I'm doing my birthday dinner. We'll see what it is. Maybe I'll post it. Maybe I won't. In the meantime, please go out. Give back in your community somehow. There's food shelters that could probably use some help. Food shelters, food kitchens. I know like things like Salvation Army will like people to come in and volunteer, help them sort through clothes and stuff like that. Just get out and help a neighbor, anything, okay? I'm going to get out of here. Bye-bye, everybody. We'll see you next weekend.
Real quick, Eli
No.
wants to know, have you ever made a canned tuna pizza?
No. Never will.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Yeah.